Plaintiff Teresa Marcano says the defendant is her cousin, and she struggled with her homosexuality. But Teresa accepted her because her own son, who's with her in court, was discriminated against for being gay. Teresa's suing her cousin for the balance due on a loan. Defendant Gwendolyn Myers says growing up in the church and coming out as gay was forbidden. Gwendolyn claims after she embraced her sexuality, her church said she could either pray the gay away or leave the church. So she left. Gwendolyn's countersuing Teresa for harassment.
Start with you.
Your Honor, Gwen is my first cousin. We was raised in a close-knit Christian family. We became close because she was struggling with a few issues in her life. One was her music career, and the other was her sexuality. She came out to me and told me she was gay. My son, also, who's with me today, is gay. And I know the things that he went through and I went through growing up.
The discrimination.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Some of his friends were, like, beat up and came to the house where I had to mend them.
So assaults and battery, just because they were gay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
and also being kept from doing certain things.
Okay.
Well, in religious jobs.
What do you mean by religion?
Well,
Kept from doing things.
well, in being in an African American family. That's thought of as kind of like taboo. So when you involve
Taboo as what,
church,
like a sin or something?
well, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Some African American.
Some African American families.
Not all. Some.
It's becoming more accepted, I guess, today.
Did they expel anybody from church? You know that? They expelled you.
Yes.
All right. Did they have the fornicators and the adulterers with you? Because the church would be empty.
Yeah,
and in many instances, starting with the preacher. Go ahead. So I'm glad to hear that you were part of that struggle in defending them against discrimination. Is that kind of what you're telling me?
Yes, are supportive and sympathetic.
Yeah, all right, good. I always have to give a little time because I'm against this discrimination against anybody for anything. I don't have a problem with marriage equality. That's what it's called. I don't treat people unequally. All right, let me allow her to give some background, ma'am.
Okay, we grew up in Harlem, and back in the day, Baptist, you just didn't come out. I knew I was gay from the time I was probably 6 years old, but I remember my mom saying to our siblings, if you're in the closet, stay in the closet until after I die, because I don't want to know about it. And that just resonated with me the entire time. Grew up in the music ministry. I'm a musician, I'm a singer. Went to college, moved to Rochester, New York, in a very prominent ministry. I was a praise and worship leader and choir director, children's choir director, musician. And when I actually got outed by my first relationship at the age of 35, they said, you have the option of going to a Christian counseling and trying to pray this thing away, pray the gay away, or we're just going to have to kick you out of ministry. And you know, after 15 years of dedicated service, I mean, I still love them. And
nobody tell on the fornicators or the adulterers?
Well, no, because they're still singing, but you know, and playing. But you know, so you know, this is the bigger sin in the church.
Right.
So you know, for a moment, everything was so terrible. I considered it. I considered denying myself after all of this time, even though I just was so unhappy for so many years, and here I am ministering and blessing the people of God, and I would go back and cry myself because I couldn't be happy. I just wanted what everybody else wanted. I even got engaged to a man, a good friend of mine, but I knew I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. And I knew
living
that
a life that wasn't you.
It wasn't me. You know, it was terrible how everything happened. They formed prayer circles around me. They slapped oil on me and tried to beat the gay demon out of me.
You got right up and went to your woman.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
You should have got up and say, it didn't work, y'all must be doing something wrong. go to the next church, try it out. Well, that didn't work either.
Yeah, listen, it even got to the point where my god sister, 3 o'clock in the morning, called me, praying in tongues, saying that God told her the devil was trying to kill me and that I needed to get right and get right with God. And for a year, I was afraid that God was going to kill me on my birthday. I was literally afraid that he was going to kill me. It was so ingrained in me.
And we're just talking about this, but this is so ignorant.
It is.
Or at least it is to me. And it probably sounds ignorant to a lot of viewers.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But, you know, I was afraid. My birthday came and went, and I was still here, and I said, well, maybe I need to pray and ask God what he's saying about me.
There you go.
And I did, and God said, you know, you're okay.
There you go. Good to hear that you're a well-adjusted woman, despite some of the ignorance that is so prevalent in our society and discrimination. And I say ignorance because that's what discrimination is based on. Discrimination is based on ignorance. What is your loan about?
In 2010, shortly after my husband passed, like December of 2010, she came to me, and I thought it was for, you know, to give me some condolences, but she asked me to borrow some money. At first, it was $5,000, and I said, no way, I can't let you borrow $5,000. She was saying that she was 3 months behind her car payments, and that she was out of work. $3,000. I said, no, I can't do that either. I said, I want to help you out, but so anyway, I called her back and told her I could give her $1,400. I could let her borrow $1,400. And so I gave her some time, you know, until she got back up on her feet. And I called her in May of 2012 and said, you need to start making some payments on this loan. And she said, okay, no problem. She sent me a check for $200, and then June, I believe she sent another check for $100. And after that, it was a lot of excuses. Oh, well, I don't have it.
Her balance is
$1,050.
All right. Ma'am?
You know, as far as that, I was calling to check on you. You're my cousin. I love you. I know that you were going through a rough time. The only reason why I even asked you is because my mother told me to ask you for the money.
Talk to me.
She's correct. She gave me $1,400 to try to get my car. It had actually been repossessed, and when I went back to Rochester, I had a job, but something, you know, I got fired basically for, you know, it was, I believe.
So
it was
what's your defense today?
Well, my defense
Can't
is...
just cry pole mouth and not pay your bill.
The problem is she told me, don't worry about paying me back now. When you get up on your feet, pay me back.
When did she tell you that?
That when she gave me the money.
Give me the month and year.
When she gave me the money, I think you said was December of 2010. She said,
right,
don't worry about until you get on your feet. Well, I did try to make payments, but I was, you know, I went through some difficult...
When's the last payment?
Last payment, I think it was, do you remember when that was? Yeah. It was
so long ago you can't remember.
November of 2012.
All right. How much?
$50.
All right, I like that. No, I like the fact that she paid something, $50. Right. A lot of folks want, that's goodwill at least. A lot of folks want to pay you a dime. They will ignore you and act like they don't owe you a dime and won't get up in here and admit it. They get up in here, I don't owe her a dime. She lying.
Yeah.
Instead, she said, I do owe her, but I'm on hard times. I told her I'd do the best I could, and I'm paying her the best I can. You probably not. You probably can pay her more. Well, yeah. But you at least gave her $50. Yes, ma'am.
Then I hear she goes to Las Vegas and get married. Does that sound like somebody that can't start paying back her loan?
That's what I say.
I wanted her bills. She need to pay me. She talking about after she paid her bills.
That's why I said I know.
One of the bills.
That's right.
Okay.
And that's what I said. She can do better.
First of all, can I just make a correction? I did not go to Las Vegas and get married. I went to Niagara Falls, which is an hour drive away from where I live, and we eloped.
$500. How does she owe you for harassment?
Okay, well, the threatening text, I have a copy of text messages.
All right,
that we
you
sent
read.
back
What did she threaten to do to you?
Well, it's not even threatening. She just...
You said it? You said threat.
Well, I mean, basically, she's just like, you could pay me back what you owe me, and the harassment came when she went to my mama. And told her all of my business and all of our business and my brother who lives down there with them. And they called me multiple times.
You want to sue her for gossip?
Yeah, no, it's not gossip.
That's it. That's exactly what it is. When you tell other people others their private business, and particularly family members, you're gossiping on each other.
Okay, well, gossiping, and the thing is, I don't tell my mother everything about me and my wife's relationship and our financial issues. We have financial issues. There was a point where...
Believe me, everybody got a little gossip going on.
Yes.
What about the premature, suing me? When you tell me to take your time, don't worry about it, pay me when you get on your feet. I'm not on my feet.
Yeah, and you can ride that out for another 20 years if you want to. Ma'am, that in the law would be interpreted as within a reasonable amount of time. Okay. And 3 years is certainly a reasonable amount of time in which you should have paid her. $1,050 is the judgment. Harassment dismissed. That's gossip. Have a good day.
Thank you.
She's my cousin. I love her. She helped me out when I needed her to help me, and I appreciate it. Yeah. So I'm not mad at you. It's all good.
I'm not mad at you either. I mean,
yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah.